Hey, yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to Markman Comics. My name is Rob Markman. This is my channel. A lot of y'all have come from my music channel, Rob Markman, where I discuss music, particularly hip-hop. This is my secondary channel, man. I wanted to create something totally different from my love for comic books and superheroes and movies and animation and video games and all of that nerd stuff, right, man? I love this stuff. This is my collection. In the background, man, you see the blue background, you know what it is. So I'm filming this on Wednesday, but we're probably gonna publish this on Thursday, right? But today is Wednesday for purposes of when I'm filming it. It's New Comic Book Day, and there's a new book out that I'm really excited about. Everybody knows, if you watch this channel, that I'm a big fan of the Absolute Batman line. So this one shot came out, Absolute Batman ARK M. This is a one shot. It's the origin story of Arkham Asylum, or ARK M as it's called in the Absolute universe. Now, you know, if you follow Absolute, you know that it's like the DC characters that you know and love, but everything is a little bit twisted, right? Like Bruce Wayne is a blue collar worker. Batman's built like a linebacker. In this series, Absolute Joker is a trillionaire, rich, evil, just maniacal, right? So, you know, it's the same, it's very familiar, but everything is a little bit different. So they're telling the story, they're unraveling this universe, and it really, to me, is my favorite comic of the year, of the past year, of the past. I mean, we're about to go on 2 years now, about a year and a half, maybe. They're up to issue 16, so about a year and a half. Because it has consequence, it has continuity, man. It keeps you coming back month to month, wanting to read more. And they're expanding the Absolute Batman world with this Absolute ARK M. Like I said, just the one shot where they're going to tell the story and the origin of Arkham Asylum. Scott Snyder wrote this, so you know he's the creator of the Absolute universe, and he's the writer on Absolute Batman. So the writing in this is superb. There's gonna be some spoilers. I'm gonna talk about the plot lines and what happens. I'm in the social panels. So if you want to read this, if you haven't read this, please click out. I would hate to spoil it for you, but there are gonna be some spoilers. Okay, so forewarning. But in the meantime, please subscribe, put your alerts on, share, comment. I'm trying to build this channel. Like I said, this is a passion of mine. It's just something that I love to do. I love to talk comics. I love the feedback that I get from y'all. Like, there's so many of us. You know, I think you know, we're made to believe that everybody who loves comics maybe looks like the guys in the Big Bang Theory or something like that. But, you know, we come from all cultures all over, man. You know, some of us a little more swagged out, you know what I'm saying? Some of us, but we just come as you are, man. And you find out how many people truly, really love comic books, man. And so I love doing this channel for that reason. I'm going to put this down and we're going to get right into it. But please, like and subscribe, comment, share, do all of that. So here's the story. And like I said, spoilers incoming. So please click out if you're not ready for that. Story starts with Amadeus Arkham, right? He's writing a journal entry. He's warning authorities of this impending danger, right? And, you know, the story goes back to about 1945 when a man shows up to buy Arkham Asylum from him. And ultimately, Amadeus starts telling the man about the origin of Arkham Asylum. So here's the origin, right? In the Absolute universe, here's another thing to you know, keep in mind. In the Absolute universe, the ARKs, ARKS, the ARKs are facilities designed to help the mentally ill, but they're really experimenting on them, and there's some evil, twisted things going on. This has been revealed in the Absolute Batman line in issues prior. Bruce was captured and experimented on, and some of his friends were experimented on. Bane. So there's ARK A, ARK B, ARK M. You see the play on words: Arkham Asylum, ARK M, and so this tells the origin. So, you know, Arkham Asylum, the asylum part of it. Amadeus's mother, you know, when he was a child, his mother was mentally ill, and she killed his siblings, kept him alive, and killed herself. So he was the lone survivor in his family. His father died in the war, but he watched his mother kill his siblings and commit suicide. So with that, he became an orphan, but dedicated his life to helping the mentally ill. And so he builds Arkham Asylum, and he believes in this mission wholeheartedly. He ends up with Jack the Ripper as a patient. They don't call him Jack the Ripper like that. He's holding a book about the biography of Jack the Ripper. So you know it's a Jack the Ripper type, but for some reason they don't say, they just call him Jack Doe. But he ends up with Jack the Ripper as a patient in Arkham Asylum. And he describes him. It's funny, though, the way he describes him, he kind of sounds like the Joker. I'll read it. He says, by the time he was sent to us, Jack had murdered multiple people, men, women, children. And soon after his arrival, he killed 2 nurses and disemboweled another prisoner. He took glee in killing. He was always laughing, a horrible grin on his face. He was the type of inmate that threatened the very existence of Arkham, and so he became the patient I was most determined to help. So shortly after he tells the story of having Jack the Ripper as a patient, shortly after that, an orphan boy arrives at his doorstep, bloody and in need of help. And Amadeus takes the boy in and describes the boy actually as full of light and optimism. And the boy actually helped Amadeus see light and optimism and brighten Amadeus' spirits. He didn't take the boy in as a patient, but instead saw the boy as his son. He didn't have children, but took the boy in as a son to him. Now, at the same time, Jack the Ripper is just running wild through Arkham Asylum. Eventually, he escapes and frees all the inmates. And then there's a killing spree in Gotham with all these inmates on the loose. And Amadeus lived with that failure and that shame. And, with that, Arkham Asylum is on the brink of being shut down. Financially now it's not doing well. And turns out, through twists and turns, and the story is so amazingly written, turns out that it was the boy who orchestrated the escape. It was the boy who controlled Jack the Ripper and left a dead body for Amadeus Arkham to find of Jack the Ripper years later. So when Amadeus finds Jack the Ripper's body inside the walls in Arkham years later, he then realized, Jack the Ripper didn't escape, and realizes that it was the boy. It was the boy who manipulated him. And it was the boy who is now this grown man who had come back to buy Arkham. You get me? It's a little twist and turns, but the grown man who comes and wants to buy Arkham is the boy that Amadeus Arkham once took under his wing and was going to leave his legacy to. Turns out that boy, now he's a man, and he's Jack Grimm, a.k.a. Absolute Joker. If you watch the Absolute Joker video, it tells the story, the origin of Jack Grimm. So the boy is Jack Grimm, a.k.a. Absolute Joker. And so rather than live with the shame of a failed Arkham being his legacy, rather than, originally he had planned for this young boy who was bright and filled with optimism to be his legacy, but turns out this young boy is a killer, orchestrated this whole thing. Rather than let the young boy be his legacy, Amadeus burns Arkham Asylum to the ground. With the few patients that he had left, with them still trapped inside, just burns it all to the ground. The journal he was writing was for the Gotham police, but the journal never made it to them. And Jack Grimm continued to build his empire and his evil, twisted plans. And then there's an epilogue. So that's all flashback. Then there's an epilogue, and Jack Grimm speaks about Batman. It's present day now in the epilogue. Jack Grimm is speaking with someone about Batman being someone he wants to target. And, if you read the Wonder Woman crossover, Wonder Woman 15, maybe it was, or 16, I forget the exact number, I'm sorry. I should have done a video on it too, but the first Absolute crossover was in the last issue of Wonder Woman. Absolute Batman appeared in Absolute Wonder Woman, and Jack Grimm is in there too, targeting. So he's had his eye on Batman for a minute. But in this epilogue, Jack Grimm speaks about Batman being someone he wants to target. And he has a list of patients that he's experimenting on, we believe, turned villains that he'd like to turn on to Batman. And we see files with names on them, right? And we just see the government names, right? So it says Kirk Langstrom. Batman fans know who's that. Whose alias is that? That's Man-Bat. We see Pamela Isley. Whose alias is that? Poison Ivy. We see Hugo Strange's name. Hugo Strange goes by the name Hugo Strange. We see Jonathan Crane. Who's Jonathan Crane's alias? The Scarecrow. We see Basil Carlo. And then we see Jervis Tetch, Mad Hatter. And these are the names. So this is letting us know that, Batman's rogue gallery, Man-Bat, Poison Ivy, Hugo Strange, Scarecrow, Basil, Mad Hatter, they're on the way. And Joker, absolute Joker, they're all kind of under his wing, under his command. So it hints at that. And then on the last page, we officially get introduced to Deathstroke, which is cool. We actually see him because Deathstroke is like, yo, I want the Batman to get, and he's like, nah, let these guys handle it first. You're gonna get your turn. And so Deathstroke, and if you go back to Absolute Batman #9, there was a cameo of Deathstroke and Jack Grimm. It was teased about whatever relationship they had. So this was teased for some time. So this issue actually serves as the first appearance of Deathstroke in the Absolute universe. One shot, dope, fills in some blanks, kind of like the Batman annual. Filled in some blanks and told us how we got the Batmobile for the first time, and that was when Batman took on the white supremacists. So the main line is amazing, issue to issue, man. To me, my favorite comic book out. And then these one shots that we're getting, fill in the blank, and it's a great story. I love it, man. So let me know what you think, man. If you read Absolute Batman ARK M, if you're reading the Absolute line, what's your favorite? Talk to me, hit me in the comments. I'll talk back, all right? See you next time. Peace.